Coming up on the Saturday Scouting Report, Great Oak edges Murrieta Valley in a Southwestern League showdown. Centennial collided with Norco, while Santiago took on Roosevelt in the land of the Big Eight. Paloma Valley remains undefeated after holding off Elsinore. A freshman quarterback leads Rev past Cajon. And defending River Valley League champion Norte Vista opens with a big win at Ramona. All that and much more coming up on the Saturday show. Brought to you by Hardy Homes and Estates. When you list with Hardy, start packing. You should never play with fire unless you're her. Fireworks are okay because the show is popping off right now. Welcome to HS Game Time's Saturday Scouting Report, a complete video highlight recap from Week 6 of the high school football season. And we start in the land of the Big Eight, where Centennial collided with Norco. All pink everything for Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. The Huskies giving Norco a heavy dose of Trey Watson in the first half. Beats by Trey, breaks off the big run, 25 yards. And here goes another 25-yard run that won't end until Watson finds the paint. Vianney Telemaivao and his buddies on the line leading the way, 8-zip Centennial on top. The Huskies defense also looking strong early on, stuffing the Norco ground game. Centennial back on offense. Watson gets the call, goes 50 yards on this scamper. The Cal Golden Bear commit with a big game in front of USC's head coach Ed Orgeron, who was at the game. The Huskies cap off the drive with ya boy Webb. Robert Weber running in the score that makes it 22-zip. Norco not ready to let Centennial off the hook that easy. The Cougars' Matthew Williams with a nice catch and run down to the one. That would set up this. Victor Viramontes on the QB keeper, and Norco was on the board, down 22-6. Centennial's defense looking to buckle down. Jamal Goodman leading the charge with a nice play on D. The Huskies go back to work on offense. Weber to Javon McKinley, who's at the Norco doorstep, and Centennial's Watson punches in the touchdown to wrap up the scoring drive. Centennial beats Norco 43-25. Next up for the Huskies is 6-0 King. Over at Santiago, Blake Barnett out of the game in the second half with concussion-like symptoms. Always better to play it safe. The Sharks hosting Roosevelt, and they led 35-18 at the half. Mustangs keeping it close, though. Joseph Murrieta the touchdown. Roosevelt down by 10. So with Barnett out, Joey Camarillo led the way. 234 yards on 42 carries. Now that's doing work. Hashtag beast mode. Hashtag pep in his step. The big run sets up Jake Roberts on the 36-yard field goal as Santiago's lead stood at 38-25. The Sharks defense also making plays. Corbin Gutierrez first to the ball and makes the tackle for a loss. Fourth quarter now. Santiago hoping to get one more score to put this game away, but the Mustangs' Marcus Williams comes up with the interception, so Roosevelt goes on offense, but the Sharks repay the favor. Ryan Ricard the INT, and Santiago wins 38-25. Great Oak heads into its matchup with Vista Murrieta on Friday, riding a wave of momentum after winning on the road at Murrieta Valley. Every single game in the Southwestern League is a real battle for Middle Earth. We pick up the highlights in the first quarter. Great Oak's Nick Fisher goes in for the touchdown. 7-zip Wolfpack. Later in the first, Murrieta Valley quarterback Preston Miller flings this pass 30 yards to Aaron Young. And on that same drive, it's Jordan Silva. Get in there. We're even at 7 apiece. To the second quarter, Great Oak's Fisher reels in another touchdown to put the Pack on top, 14-7. The Nighthawks would answer before the half. Michael Robles, 35 yards the hard way. Some tough running there. Great run by Robles. And that would set up this. Miller to Hobie Teets. That ties the game at 14, but Great Oak wins a thriller, 28-27 the final. Now let's jump to the Sun Belt League. Paloma Valley hosting Elsinore. Third quarter, quarterback Brent Bohm, a.k.a. Bebo, to R.J. Benz, 53 yards on that play. Next play, it's Bebo to Philip Hauser, 33 yards on that pass completion. Same drive, next snap, DeMarco Pruitt. You can do it! Pruitt scores and Paloma Valley leads 35-17. Later in the third, Elsinore responds. Tommy Wilson to Chris Harris. Chris Harris! That sets up this Davis Peralta touchdown as the Tigers close the gap on Paloma Valley. Ensuing kickoff. And the Wildcats, they turn it over and Elsinore is back in business. Wilson, number 22 on his jersey as the quarterback, but number 1 in your hearts, to Chris Harris. Chris Harris, 20 yards on the score, and the Tigers pull within 6 to the 4th. Elsinore still looking for the go-ahead score, but welcome to Fred Lundy Island. The pick for Paloma Valley. Late in the game, the Wildcats would force the fumble, and that will do it. Paloma Valley hangs on 35-29. Also in the Sun Belt, Heritage hooking up with Perris. The Panthers get on the board first with the field goal, but it was a whole lot of Heritage after that. Aliva Hifo, playing quarterback, finds Sayoni Tahquitz, who goes in for the touchdown. And then it's Hifo airing it out to Matthew Palmer on the money. 21-3, Patriots leading. Now it's Perris punting. Tahquitz, the block, and recovers for a Tahquitz touchdown. The Patriots rolling in this one. Hifo to Erod. Evan Rodriguez gets his feet in for the touchdown, and despite missing several key starting players, Heritage wins big, 56-3. The Patriots will host Temescal Canyon in Week 7. There's a big game brewing in the Citrus Belt League this Friday as Redlands East Valley travels to Yucaipa. The Wildcats had Cajon in Week 6. The Rev offense looking like a juggernaut in this one. Malik Lovett, you gotta love it. Love it, the first of many touchdowns in the game. Cajon, though, would answer. Gavin Westover gets loose on this run, and he'll find the end zone as the Cowboys enter into a shootout with the Wildcats. Now it's Rev with the ball. Alonzo Anderson gets the call. Anderson runs it in, and Rev is back in front, but this game was far from done. Check out this run by Cajon's Malik Forte. It looks like the Wildcats have him bottled up for a loss, but Forte squirts loose, and he's off to the races. The Cowboys are back on the board thanks to a great touchdown run from Forte. The Wildcats answer with another Anderson touchdown. That's Zoe. So back and forth, the shootout continues. The Cowboys counter with Daniel Leon on this scoring run, but Cajon could not keep up with the Rev attack. Freshman quarterback Armando Herrera getting the start and looking like a seasoned pro. Herrera to Lovett on that TD strike. And then later it's Herrera to Anthony Grayson as Rev begins to pull away from the Cowboys. This time it's Lovett getting the carry, and he'll find the end zone for another Redlands East Valley touchdown. Despite a cast on his arm, Mark Nielsen did play in this one, mostly defense, but he also ran the ball a couple times, like that nice run there. That sets up another Lovett touchdown as Rev rolls 55-21, the final score. Norte Vista won the inaugural River Valley League title last season, so can the Braves repeat in 2013? Well, Novi has a big game with Moreno Valley this Friday. Novi took on Damon, Dustin, and Ramona in Week 6. First play from scrimmage, Fred Hawley breaks off this 44-yard touchdown run. Hawley played at Ramona last season, but transferred to Novi, so this was his first game in a Braves uniform. Now Novi gets the rock to the big fella, Andrew Martinez, the strong run right there. He did the work, time to get paid. Martinez cashes in with a touchdown. Novi up 14-zip in the first quarter. Ramona playing some Wildcat on offense. Chris Kilgore lined up at quarterback, and he's got the nice run out of the Wildcat for Ramona. Damon Mays, the usual starter, playing quarterback as well, finds his brother, Byron Mays, but Ramona did not get any points on that drive. So now it's Novi going to the end zone here. Henry Batista playing some D, comes down with the interception for Ramona. Freddie Hawley continued his big night on the ground, racked up more than 200 yards in the first half alone. Big run there, big hit at the end, and that sets up DeAndre Castanon for the TD. 21-zip in the second quarter, Novi on top. The Rams, though, battling back. Kilgore to Batista for the nice gain. Yeah, Kilgore can pass as well. And then it's Mays handing it off to Kilgore, who scampers into the paint to make it a 21-7 game. Norte Vista answered with a heavy dose of the ground game. Hawley rips off another big run for Norte Vista. And then later on that drive, check out Hawley. He strikes again, and this might have been his best touchdown run in the game. Norte Vista goes on to win 48-7, the final score. So next up for the Braves is Moreno Valley. The Vikings on the road at Supa Dupa Jurupa Valley in Week 6. Pick things up in the first quarter. Jaguars with the ball. They turn it over. The Vikings, Joshua Diaz recovers and scampers to the end zone. Moreno Valley up 7-zip. The Jaguars trying to bounce back. George Macho Camacho, the nice strong run. He's a macho man. Jurupa Valley feeds Camacho again, and he's off to the house. Jaguars tie the game at 7 apiece on the long Camacho touchdown run. Moval now going on offense. Joseph Kinney, the nice run as the Vikings set sail for the end zone. It's Kinney again. He will find the paint as Moreno Valley regains the lead 13-8. Jurupa Valley now with the ball, and they turn it over again. The Vikings recover, and they would capitalize. Amos Murphy, the TD. We're making Amos famous. You're on HS Game Time. Moreno Valley wins 43-15. Jurupa Valley will look to rebound against La Sierra on Friday. The Eagles coming off the upset of Patriot. Eagles head coach Jeff Roney looking for his first win, and this really helps. Patriot turns the ball over on the backwards pass. Wendell Thompson scoops it up and takes it back to the house to put La Sierra on the scoreboard first, leading 6-0. The Warriors looking to bounce back and answer. Quarterback Brandon Pacheco airs it out to Jalen Burrell. The diving, one-handed, juggling catch. But the Eagles defense swoops in for the stop. Andreu Benny comes up with the interception for La Sierra, and then the long return after the INT. La Sierra would add to its lead when Jonathan, the real McCoy, punches in the score. La Sierra up 12-0. Patriot had a chance to get on the board when J.D. Hernandez breaks off this long run to the paint, but a personal foul behind the play brings it back. And it would prove to be costly as the Warriors turn the ball over and come away with no points. Edgar Plazola recovers for La Sierra. Fireworks for Patriots homecoming, but most of the fireworks in this one coming from La Sierra. Opening of the third quarter, and the Warriors turn the ball over again, and the Eagles would capitalize. Quarterback Derek Cruz to Benny for the score. La Sierra leading 18-0, and the homecoming crowd stunned. Then later in the third quarter, it's McCoy. Gets it cracking and finds the end zone for his second score of the game. The Eagles pulling away in this one. The Warriors would eventually get on the board in the final seconds of the third. J.D. Hernandez with one of his 3 touchdowns in the game, but all of them coming late in the contest. La Sierra gets one more when Cruz connects on this TD strike as the Eagles pick up their first win of the season, and that deserves a Gatorade and water bath. Roney and La Sierra open River Valley League play with a 40-21 win. The Rancho Verde had a bye in week 6, but the Mustangs return to work this Friday as they collide with Canyon Springs. The Cougars playing on the road at North. Homecoming for the Huskies. Joseph Garcia and head coach John Rice talking it over. North up 14-6 in the second quarter. That's where we pick it up. And hey, it's some of the Rancho Verde Mustangs in the stands. They had the night off, as we mentioned. North with the ball, but the Cougars, Jesus Noriega and Nick Como stuffing the run. More of the same from the Canyon Springs Department of Defense. Garcia on the run. Quincy Wilson tracks him down and has the sack. North is forced to punt, but the Cougars turn it over and they give it right back. Robert Sanchez, the man, recovers for JW North. So the Huskies looking to pad their lead before the break. Garcia calls his own number. He's got the big gain. The Huskies marching down the field. And that leads to this. Darius Streets in for the touchdown. North pushes its lead to 21-6. The Huskies defense looking to keep it that way on homecoming. Aaron Owens, the nice tackle for North. But Canyon Springs still cranking it up on offense with about a minute to play in the first half. Quarterback Cody Cervantes left to fly to Como. Nearly ran me over. Great catch by Como, and thanks for not sending me to the ground, big fella. But North's defense would step up and turn the Cougars away from the 10-yard line. North wins 36-20. Now, from Thursday night, it was Pauley against Arlington. Let's do this. Let's go to Ramona Stadium. The Lions on a modest 2-game winning streak. And Pauley looking to bounce back from their loss to the Rancho Verde in Inland Valley League action. First quarter, Arlington strikes first. The old gunslinger, Wyatt Moore, 50 yards to Lovell Thomas. And Arlington goes up 6-0. Now we move to the second quarter, and Pauley strikes back. Quarterback Chandler Drakeslin, 48 yards to Akili Ross. And the Bears go on top, 7-6. Still in the second quarter, Ross does it again. Get in there! Ross goes in for the touchdown, and Poly led 13-6 at the half. Poly looking to pad its lead, but there's Lavelle Thomas coming up with another big play, the interception in the end zone. Now we fast forward to the fourth quarter. Arlington still clinging to life. Moore sacked by Ben Tualega, and that will do it. And Riverside Poly hangs on for the victory, 13-6 the final. From the Mountain Pass League, Citrus Hill hosting San Jacinto. Tigers quarterback P.J. Murrieta finds Kevin Smith for a short game, but the Hawks defense swoops in for the stop. Citrus Hills, P.J. Walker, that's my P.J., barrels over for a touchdown in the first half. Later, Hawks quarterback Brett Hollingsworth, he takes off on the big run. Nice game for Hollingsworth, and then that's what set up this. And now it's back to Walker with a run that ends up near the goal line. Walker with 247 yards on 30 carries and 3 scores in the ball game against the Tigers. Now it's Hollingsworth to Jacoby Herring, 6 yards on the touchdown strike. Citrus Hill goes on to win 38-14. The Tigers will next face Tahquitz, who hosted Hemet in Week 6. Trick play by the Titans. Receiver Ty Davis finds a wide-open Devion Fields Pickett for the touchdown. Later, it's Michael Stewart, the star receiver, hauling in the touchdown pass for Tahquitz. The Titans raced out to the early lead, the offense putting up some points, and so did the defense. Yeah, the Titans defense has been great this year. Ron Walton scoops up this fumble and bolts 57 yards for the score. Tahquitz up 29-zip at the half, and later, more Titan D. Anthony Morakis comes up with the pick 6. He'll take it back. Tahquitz tosses a shutout against in-town rival Hemet, 36-0. In the Mountain Valley League, Citrus Valley on the road at Jurupa Hills. Second quarter, Spartans QB DJ Wright is right on with this pass to Daniel Narvaez. And then check out this ball from Wright to Corday Roberts. Jurupa Hills takes a 16-7 lead on the Blackhawks thanks to that Roberts touchdown. Later, Citrus Valley punting, and Jurupa Hills gets a safety out of it as the Spartans go up 18-7. Now we fast forward to the third quarter. The Blackhawks get it cracking with the rushing game. Stephen Harris, the nice run for Citrus Valley. And then it's Amari Montgomery. Hashtag runs all the way to the house. Citrus Valley pulls within 4, down just 18-14. But Jurupa Hills would answer. Right calls his own number, just shy of the pylon on that run, but this time, no doubt, on the keeper. All right. Jurupa Hills wins 25-14. Bloomington versus Grand Terrace now in the Sunkist League. Big Joe Valadez and the Titans at home for Bloomington for the Titans' up-and-coming game. That's their first senior class. Derek Jones with a herniated disc in his back, done for the season, he says. Resting up for wrestling, but he may need surgery. Jones's replacement at quarterback, Salvador Munoz. Big run across midfield for the Bruins, but Bloomington would turn the ball over. The Titans force the fumble. Cameron Alvarez recovers for Grand Terrace. So now it's the Titans with the ball, but Saul Ramirez in on the stop for Bloomington. So the Bruins are back in business now on offense. Munoz to Marcus Jones. Check out this catch. Tipped pass, stays with it. Jones hauls in the touchdown, and the Bruins were on the board first, 8-zip after the 2-point conversion. Grand Terrace would waste little time to answer. QB Ralph Mohammed airs it out to Cruz Duke. The pass is on the money. Straight cash, homie. The Titans would tie the game at 8. On the ensuing kickoff, Alvaro Torres recovers for Grand Terrace. So the Titans take over and they put this drive into cruise control. Cruz Duke, a big run here. Valadez and the crew up front paving the way for Duke last night. That sets up another Duke touchdown. Grand Terrace wins on up-and-coming night, 44-30. That'll do it for the big Saturday show. Please join us on Wednesday for the HS Game Time Live Blitz at 5:30 as we'll preview Week 7 of the high school football season. We'll see you next time on HS Game Time.